us is faced with challenges and we tell, you know what, if there is a girl, तुम्हें ये करना चाहिए, तुम्हें वो नहीं करना चाहिए, अगर grow करना है तो कहाँ पे जाना चाहिए? How do you show with limitations? And what limitations apply to a girl and what limitations don't apply to a girl? The next speaker is Devesh Kumar. Incidentally, I love a saying in the world, success is a marathon, it's not a sprint. So the next speaker, Devesh, is a marathoner. He runs marathons as a passion. He's an HR leader. He's been in sales, he's been in marketing, he's been in HR, he's a trainer, and a fantastic speaker. Over to Devesh.
मैं बोलना उचित समझा क्योंकि मुझे लगा शायद अटेंशन ज़्यादा मिल जाएगी हिंदी में बोलने पे, कुछ अलग बोलूँगा तो लंच करके आए हैं, बड़ा अच्छा माहौल है, थोड़ा सा रिलैक्स फील करके, कुछ लोगों ने चावल भी खाया होगा शायद.
We have expats also.
Okay, so I'll go back to English, and the only reason why I started Hindi is because I wanted someone to stop me and say speak in English, and that's what the tradition is for women in India these days. They want to do something, but they are asked to do something else only because of the society. No offenses to anyone, thanks and respect to everyone, but this is what exactly happens in the society. Okay, coming back, everyone would have had a nice lunch, rice settled with some dal over it, etc., whatever it is. So why not let's start by giving a nice standing ovation to each and every speaker who spoke since morning, be he part of the panel or anyone. So let's stand and give. There's a unique thing which is said. Thank you so much for that. You can sit now, thank you. There's a very unique thing which is said, that our palms have acupressure points, and there are 36 acupressure points on both the hands, which get activated when you clap. So that is something which is good for your health. The second beneficial, I sometimes try to follow astrology as well, and it's beautifully said that when you clap, you make your Saturn stronger. So that's an amazing thing, because when you clap, you applaud for the other person, and that is something which is liked by Saturn, and then you get blessed. So moving ahead, I'll be talking about different scenarios, but then yes, when I was talking to Thalis, we felt that we should be talking about progressiveness, and which is actually nice as well. I searched a lot, and to be honest, I tried to search a lot as to what kind of template I'll go ahead and use, and this is the most apt that I felt, that progressiveness is nothing but a virtual reality at majority of the places when you are talking about women. You want to move forward, but yes, with those glasses, with those masks, you are not allowed. So let's see exactly how it is. Indian Women Convention, women in career. Sorry, there's a mistake. That's challenges and struggles for women in career. And that is why the topic that I've chosen is nothing but selective progressiveness. So you want the women to proceed, progress, but selective. Questions asked or topics that go around in the mindset of females or injected in the mindset of females are, why don't you grow up the ladder? If that person can become XYZ in the organization, why can't you? But make sure you are back home by 5. Or go around, mingle with people, but do ensure that you have limits around it. No partying and all, right? How can you expect that you go ahead and create a network without getting into a corporate parties? Yes, you have restrictions as well. You talk to female kids and you try to restrict them. It reminds me of a very beautiful incident that happened once. Someone known in my family, he had a daughter, got an admission somewhere in one of the prestigious schools or colleges, I would say, for undergrad. She wanted to take an admission because that happened to be one of the most prestigious schools, a co-ed school, let me put it that way. The father somehow was not okay to get the admission, but still filled up the form, gave the check, did everything as per his daughter's liking, and submitted the form, rather gave the form to the daughter. She went, submitted, but it got rejected. The father did the job, but there was one mistake that he did, and that was an intentional one. A DD was required to be submitted, and he gave a check. The only reason, because he didn't want her to get an admission over there. And it's a true incident. So we want daughters to grow, but with restrictions. Another round of applause for all the females out here who have been sisters, mothers, daughters, wives, performing exceptionally well. So a big round of applause to you yourself, if we can get. There's someone who said a very beautiful 2 lines. I'll take your permission. I'll go back to Hindi. It says, अपना वजूद मिटाकर न जाने कितनी रिवायतें निभाती हैं. अपना वजूद मिटाकर न जाने कितनी रिवायतें निभाती हैं. सलाम हर उस खातून को जो घर को घर बनाती है. I'll do that. So it says, it basically means in English that let's go ahead and salute all the females out there who go ahead and help each and every family in some or the other way and make home a home by what they have sacrificed with all their sacrifices. So we talk about women growing, we talk about women moving up the ladder. Elections have recently passed, results are out. We had prime ministers in the past, we still have prime ministers across the globe. We had presidents, we have speakers, and women did exceptionally well, especially 1 or 2 females who were much talked about. Let me not go into the political arena and talk about it. But there were people who had. We have entrepreneurs, we have CEOs, CFOs, and whatnot. We have. But we always have not so comfortable things. So I'll probably seek 1 or 2 views from you all as to what do you think when you see from a female perspective, what are not so comfortable things that you find around? Could be a girl child, in the life of a girl child, could be in your life or someone else's life. If 1 or 2 examples I can get, maybe anyone who wants to pitch in and share the views. Anyone? Please, ma'am.
When you interact with the outside world, men will look at a very different perspective. They try to pass some comments, and if you encourage them, then they go to a great extent ahead. So it is better to curb them at that particular moment when they give you any comment or they message you any comment. And honestly, if you want to protect yourself, today is the tech-savvy world, so do take a screenshot and keep it with you, so that at any point of time, if you want to actually go against them, you can go against them with the proof, and not in many cases where it actually happens that the person escapes because there's no proof, honestly speaking. So we should use the technology today where you can easily take a screenshot and save yourself. You can secure yourself, or you can your security is in your hands, where you can use the technology very effectively.
Right, eve teasing or harassment, any kind of. Anyone else who wants to add one or two points? Very true, and this is one particular point I was especially looking at. So it's not someone else who undermines your capability, but the self. So as they say, the problem is not outside, but within, and same goes with the application solution as well. So certain amazing facts before I go back and talk anything else. Thousands of dowry death cases till date happen, and it's not weird, but this is something which has been part of history and it's going on. Over 60% married women are beaten and are victims of rape. it still exists. And we are talking about growing and going places. Fetal sex determination. It's an illegal industry which is going on in India right now and approximately valued to more than 1,000 crores. It still exists. You go to any ultrasound center, they write something which is on a A4 size paper and say we don't support. If they don't support, then how on earth is this possible? And I'm only talking about India right now. I'm not even touching anywhere beyond India. Child marriage. Ma'am was talking about child marriage as a problem. Yes, it definitely exists. The median wage as of today is 25% less than what men in the industry get. And it's true. We still exist in the same society where a pregnant lady is not handed over an appraisal if she has been on a maternity break or given a less appraisal, by quoting any example, and this is true. Couple of more challenges. Love marriage for a girl, is it accepted? Little doubtful, not to a greater extent, but then yes, if there's a male child who goes, people may make a hue and cry, but still go ahead and accept it at some or the other point. Few statements or situations that we see or listen to in the society. The whole objective of realizing these or putting these in front of you is to rethink and help us all move forward and take initiatives. Tu to mera beta hai. This is a very common statement that people go ahead and give to female kids. Now my question always remains simple. Why do you want to go ahead and quote, tu to mera beta hai? Are you not comfortable by she being a beti? देना तो पड़ता है, dowry. I don't support, but देना तो पड़ता है, ठीक है. For your benefit, I mean the first one says, you are like my son. Though you are my daughter, but you are like my son. And the second one is, we are talking about dowry cases. So I don't support dowry, but yes, at times we have to adjust and we have to give is something which is the virtual reality, which is reality, not virtual. अकेली लड़की खुली तिजोरी की तरह होती है. I mean, these are very common statements that people go ahead and use. So it's like a single girl, if you are going out, you are more like an open locker. Is that true? Understand the meaning of no. But people don't understand. If a female says no, the male partner will always think it's a yes. And this is something which is amazing. Movies still go ahead and show depression or death cases at majority of the places if there's a rape victim. Why is that so? No one has an answer. But this is something which is still shown. Paraya dhan. I mean, no offenses to anyone, but these are certain things which people go ahead and use. And unfortunately, not only males, but females also tend to use. So you cannot have a progressive society if you keep using these terms. Identity crisis is something which is very bad. So let the beti be a beti. That is something which is going to help us. Think about nutrition, think about educating a girl child. I mean, not giving a check instead of a DD is something that can be avoided. Single sex schools, we still have. Mental health, as I said, I practice astrology as well, and you'll be amazed to know that 90% of the cases that come to me when they are expecting a child have questions. Is it going to be a girl child or a male child? And 90% of the questions revolve around this. I was reading an article today morning in Times of India. It was published somewhere 2 days ago and then today in Times of India. It had a very good question and a very big point as well. that gender biasness we say, but we already do it as well. Siri in Apple phones, Alexa, or Google's, I don't remember the name, Comfort or something it is there, are all female names. And why have they been given so? Because majority of the developers who are working on it are males and think that talking to a female is more soothing. So they give this an option. These are by default names and by default voices which are kept. I was talking to someone and someone ended up telling, on a lighter note, someone ended up telling that all the cyclones are also named on females. So, but then again, I did fair bit of research and I got to know that there has been a rule set that every 6 years you'll have to swap the names. So 6 years males and then 6 years females. So there it got saved. But then this is really amazing. All these virtual assistants that you go ahead and mention, you keep their names as females, and these are default names. Couple of areas of concern which I think every one of us can go ahead and look at it is, there's a selective abortion. If they get to know it's a female child, 2 days you think through whether you want to continue with it or not. Then you have lack of proper education which is there, lack of choices, nutrition, anything you talk about, this is something which is there. I took one initiative some time back and I floated an NGO in the name of Ashirwad Foundation that would be talking and mainly working about female education, female nutrition, health, etc. The only appeal I can go ahead and do, I don't need to give answers to any of these questions as to how we are going to eradicate these, how we are going to talk about it or remove these, because everyone has the answer. The question is, do we go ahead and do it or not? So let's start from our houses, let's start and grow from the house, then the society, then the state, then country, so on and so forth. And if we go ahead and do, we can definitely bring about change. Promise yourselves today that when you step out of the room today, you'll vouch that at least one female is what you are going to help, only one. And if you do that, if you spread the word, be rest assured, things will change, slowly but surely. In the similar way, like what pay wages have changed. 10 years, 20 years before, the median wage was almost 45% less than what men used to draw. Now it's 25%. So if we keep continuing, we can definitely bring about a change. We can remove all these, bring better picture, and we can help stay happy, stay healthy, be a channel, and keep growing. Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to India's first corporate news channel. We invite interviews, articles, press releases from your organization. Visit our portal www.indianconventions.com. Thank you.